Welcome to NFL Week 10 Monday Night Football. Philadelphia Eagles versus the Green Bay Packers. And as you can see, the opening odds are on the screen. And we're going to decode this real quick. We're going to go over the odds and how the odds move throughout the week, odds movements throughout the week, and how we got to this point. So yeah, we had a good day on the NFL yesterday on the Patreon. Link is in the description and in the video. We killed it with the money line and the spreads yesterday. Totals did pretty good as well. But yeah, let's go over this game tonight. November 10th, Eagles versus Packers. Let's go over it. All right, opening money line, minus 120 for the Eagles, plus 100 for the Packers. And these numbers have just been reduced. 1 plus 20 is 21, 12 plus 0 is 12, and 1 plus 2 plus 0 is 3. And that's how we get these values up top. It's called reduction. Separate the integers and add them together. And these are the opening odds. This is up on opening. And these are the most telling odds when they first are posted. Sorry about that. When they first are posted after their previous games, and really earlier than the previous games is when they're first posted, obviously called opening. Spreads as well, we're going to go over that in a moment. But yeah, currently Eagles are plus 102, minus 120 on the money line, according to FD. Opening odds are usually the most telling. Now, the spread opened at minus 1.5, minus 110 cost. 1.5 point favorites are the Eagles. That has since changed. Green Bay is now the favorite in this game, and they are now favored on the spread there as such. By the current odds will tell you that minus 120 for the Packers, plus 102 for the Eagles as of early Monday morning. Total opened at 45.5 points, minus 110. Currently, it is 45.5 points, minus 110. And we have the odds movements throughout the week. We're going to go over in a moment. Currently, the Packers are 1.5 point favorites at minus 105 cost, minus 115 cost for the road Eagles. All right, let's go over where the splits are throughout the week. But first we're going to go over expected value. Expected value, let me scroll down, is the measure of what a bettor can expect to win or lose on each bet placed on the same odds time and time again. And that is right here. Formula is right here. And it is based off $100 wagers. Now, if you're an expected value bettor, we will have expected value props on the Patreon as well. Expected value, guaranteed positive expected value, positive expected value on the Patreon. Now, which is really low volume props, but they could yield big profits if it comes to fruition. And we're going to go over that right now. All right. Opening based off this, minus 120, plus 100. That gives Eagles a 52% chance to win and a 48% chance to win for the Packers. Now, that gives the Eagles a negative $4.67 expected value, and that gives Green Bay a negative $4 expected value opening. Now, we covered the opening just to see how much it dropped. Now, those odds have since changed. It is now 48%. It is flipped. 48% for the Eagles' chance to win based off the plus 102, minus 120. 52% chance to win for the Packers now, which gives them a negative $4.67 expected value, and it gives the Eagles a negative $3.04 expected value. Now, let's go over the splits throughout the week. Now, based off of where we are now, we're going to go over the splits. We'll go over the current splits. Now, the picks will be posted on the Patreon. Link is in the description and in the video. All right. 75% currently. These are current money line percentage of betting. 75% going with the Eagles. 25% going with the Packers on the money line. Percentage of money on the money line currently. 82% going with the Eagles. 18% going with the Packers currently. Spread percentage of bets. 83% going with the Eagles. 17% going with the Packers. Percentage of money, 87% going with the Eagles, 13% going with the Packers. Total, over 45.5, minus 110 even cost. Opening and current. Total odds and the total amount, over 48.5 percentage of bets, 52% going under. Percentage of money, over is getting 84% of the money, 16% currently going under. So people expecting this to be a relatively higher scoring game than what the odds have on deck. But let's go over where the odds have adjusted throughout the week. How they have adjusted and how we got to this point. As you can see, we have Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Let me scroll. Hold on. It's supposed to be Thursday. That's why. We're going to change that real quick. Sorry about that. And let's get going. Put Wednesday on there. It's supposed to be Thursday. Now. All right. Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Tuesday, 11/4, November 4th. The odds for the Eagles, plus 116, 78% of the betting. Minus 136 for the Packers. 78% betting going with the Eagles. 94% money going with the Eagles on Tuesday, based off the plus 116, minus 136 going with the Packers. Now, Thursday went from plus 110, minus 130 on Thursday. 78% betting percentage stayed the same. 90% money. Lost a little bit of points on the money. Odds went down. Odds went down for the Eagles and the Packers in their respective directions. Sunday, 11/9, yesterday, plus 104 for the Eagles, minus 122 for the Packers. So odds are going down, and so have the money percentage for the Eagles at 80%. Went from 94 to 90 to 80%. And their odds have decreased. Gives you a huge indicator on who could possibly win this game. Green Bay is now the favorite when they started as a dog. Eagles were high on the positive, plus 116. They were at 94% on Tuesday, all the way to Sunday, plus 104. Dropped from 116 to plus 104. And their money went from 94 to 80. Think about a bookie. How would they profit off of this? How would they profit off of that? Drop those odds where the money is going and trending, but so is the money percentage dropping as well, but it is still 80% money. Huge advantage for the Packers there. Minus 122 for the Packers, getting only 20% of the money. Now the spread is somewhat of a mystery because it went up, stayed the same, then down, up, consistent, then down. So plus 2.5 for the Eagles on Tuesday at minus 110 cost gives them 69% of the betting, 89% of the money. Plus 2.5, minus 115 for the Eagles, 80% of the betting, 90% of the money. So their odds increased when their money increased. Now it went down on Sunday. Plus 1.5 went down by a point. Minus 1.5 for the Packers, Plus 1.5 for the Eagles, minus 110 cost for both. 85% of the betting went up. Money stayed the same from Thursday. Money has pretty much stayed the same pretty much consistently throughout the week, with the exception of today. Where we are, where are we at? We are, sorry about the 87%. 87%. So it dropped a little bit. All right. As far as the spread, it is now 1.5. Currently, by the way, it is 1.5 point favorites for the Eagles at minus 110 cost. Now, with this, hold on, let me verify that. Hold on. All right, at minus 105 cost for the Eagles, minus 115 for the Eagles, minus 105 for the Packers, Tuesday for the totals. Now, as far as what's going on with the spread, let's go over that. What's going on with the spread is it went up, stayed consistent, then dropped on Sunday. Especially even on the amount. Went down by a point. When you see a team, so basically it turns into a pick'em game. when it does that, it turns into a pick'em game with a huge advantage going with the Eagles. They know large percentage is going to go with the Eagles, especially since they're a dog now. When you see their odds move from 110 to minus 115 to minus 110 again, and they're getting a consistent amount on the money, look out for later in the day which one goes to minus 105. Whichever one goes to minus 105 cost, take that value. But if it stays at minus 110, whichever one stays at minus 110, this is basically whoever you pick on the spread, money line, you will pick on the spread. That's normally how these type of games go. You rarely catch somebody who's going to pick a different one when it's this close of a game, 1 point, 1.5 points. So, in this is an indication, and the Eagles have been dominating practically all week on the money for the money line and the spread. They know which way you're going to go. Watch how those odds adjust when the sharps go in. The sharps are the heavy bettors that bet late, and they determine where these odds go, and that's why the odds move late, just before game time. Watch which one goes to minus 105, and more than likely pick that one, especially with the Eagles dropping from minus 115 to minus 110. Now total, over under, 44.5 points, minus 108 cost going over, minus 112 going under. On Tuesday, that is, 11-4, 42% betting, 42% money. Now, this has remained consistent practically throughout the week up until yesterday. 44.5 points, minus 110 cost there. So it increased for the over, decreased for the under by 2. 43 to 43. It evened out. The over evened out. Now, Sunday is a complete different. 44.5 points, stayed the same on the points. Currently, it is 45.5. Minus 120 now, going over, with the money increasing to 88% and the betting increasing by 1% to 44. Look out for the over in this game. Where it is currently, 45.5 minus 110 there, gives you a huge indicator on where, hold on, let me scroll back up, on where this thing is going. Now, the over is now 84%, and the over has 48% of the betting. What sportsbooks do, they hold this whenever you see that increase, but the over decreased on the money, but the betting increased. Whenever you see that happen on a total, watch what happens with the total in it. As you can see, it has gone up by a point. They're trying to encourage you to go with that under, to bet that under. Now, it might increase again to 46 or 46.5 throughout the day. If it does that, then definitely go with the over. They're trying to entice you to go with the under, especially the public. Look out for that over in this game. The over could take it in this game for sure. But look out, that under could take it only if it goes higher in the cost. If you see a consistent higher cost across the sports books, go with that under. That's the only case I would go with the under in this one. But yeah, that is the odds analysis for Monday Night Football. Money line, Eagles are looking promising only because of the way the odds are moving. But the way Green Bay is increasing, has increased. As you can see, they're minus 120 on the money line now. If Green Bay keeps increasing, look out for Green Bay on the money line. As the odds have gone, looks like they're trying to entice you to go with that Eagles money line. Watch if it goes down to minus 116, minus 104, or something like that. That's normally what happens. Then go with that one. Go with the Eagles in that one. If it stays the same with the higher Packers one and it keeps increasing, go with the Packers. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. You guys take care. Pray every day. I've been Scott. Join the Patreon. Link is in the description and in the video. You guys take care.